this dates back many, many years because this was part of. This was part of the Riverside project, which was a much larger project that was intended to be developed in phases. And part of when that original development was approved, the special land use for it was approved, it provided that with every phase there will be a separate development agreement. And so that's why every phase should have one, and every phase will have one once this development agreement is finalized. This one that's in front of you has to be reviewed by the township's consultants, the engineer, the planner, and myself. But provided it's all reviewed and approved by all of your consultants, we are hoping you would authorize the signature at that point.
So, and this comes from a site plan that was approved years ago?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and in fact, this was
2004.
phase 3 of the project. And phase 3, only half of it, or a portion of it, was actually built. And so what the developer of phase 3 has done, has now requested we split it into phase 3A and 3B, and he's selling 3B to a new developer. I presume new developer is here if you have any questions for him. But what we wanted to do to ensure consistency is 3A, although developed, never had a development agreement. So the development agreement that's in front of you covers all of 3, even though 3A has already been constructed and is owned by a different person than 3B, which is why all are signing this agreement.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the board?
The amount of money is large, it seems to be large. That's okay? I mean,
So you're talking about the bonding? The
Yeah.
security bonds?
security.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
planner and the engineer reviewed them.
It's based on the cost
Cost.
of completion.
Right.
Okay.
I noticed there's a playground facility. Who maintains that afterward?
The HOA.
Okay.
That's in the articles. Right. Any other questions? Then the chair would entertain a motion to approve.
I would make a motion to approve the Gardens of Riverside Development Agreement, subject to review by the planner, engineer, and the attorney, and
Authorizing
authorizing the clerk and the supervisor to sign.
Is there support?
Support.
Motion by Clerk Winchester, support by Trustee Ruth, to approve the development agreement for the Gardens of Riverside, authorizing the supervisor and clerk to enter into that when the attorney completes that. All right. Is there any further discussion?
Do we need to add in there anything about if there's any huge contrast between what this says to come back, or are we pretty safe on that?
I don't expect there will be, because
Okay.
we've all reviewed it at one point.
Yes.
So we're all almost there.
Okay.
It's just the final part. They reviewed it before, yeah.
As a rule of thumb, I can tell you, dealing with Lisa, when something big shows up, she's the first one to grab the phone. She's been very good at that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we would definitely make sure it came back to the board.
all right. Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion carries 5-0.
Oh, but you,
Now, if you'd like, we appreciate you being here this evening. I know you've got a bit of a ride to get home. So, thank you.
well, we have her increase next.
Oh, do you want to stay while we vote on your increase?
No? Unless you want me to be.
No, actually, only because Karen brought it up. I will tell you, I was more than pleased when she called me about the increase. We've been with Lisa, since shortly after I came into office, for 8 years, we've never had an increase. And when she called me and said, I'm going to have to increase things, I was expecting more than she said. The increase in the rates, especially considering everything else that's gone up in our life, is minimal at best. So for that, I thank you.
Thank you.
But that
you,
isn't,
Lisa.
but, so, no, you can go ahead and leave. I was letting you leave. It was Karen that wanted to embarrass you. Karen figured she had to be embarrassed tonight. She wanted to share that.
Well, I didn't know she wanted to speak on it.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
assumed she did.
So number 4 is the attorney increase on here. As I told you, it is, I think it's a minimal increase, especially when you consider we haven't had one in 8 years. Hang on while I get that paper here. Our legal fees, when she came on board, were $130 an hour. That's been the rate for many years. The general civil legal services continued at $130 an hour, and litigation was $150. She is asking for an increase to bring those rates closer to market rates. We're requesting an increase of $150 an hour for general, which is an increase of $20. And for general civil, would move up to $165, which is $10 an hour. And I think under the circumstances and over the last 8 years, I think that's a pretty reasonable
Yeah, it's very reasonable.
request. Any other comments from the board?
And compare, because a lot of them, I know some of our other clients are paying more.
What's the 225?
The 225 is for pass-through work. Those are services performed that are subject to reimbursement by the applicant for permit approval. That has to do with development and so forth. That's what they charge outside clients that come through us, i.e. pass-through work.
So the increase is 130 to 150.
130 to 150 and 155 up to 165 for litigation. So it's a $10 or a $20 raise on the everyday stuff and $10 on litigation. It's been a while since we've gone out from bid, but I've talked to other townships, and almost everybody I've talked to is either at 195 or they're over 2.
That's true. Yep.
So I will go ahead and make a motion to approve the rate increase from the law offices of Rosati, Schultz, Jopik, and Amsbergler. That was a mouthful. Is there support?
Support?
Support by Clerk Winchester. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion carries. Okay, we move on to number 5. HIA member proposed resolution 2024-20. This has to do with our being a general member of HIA, if I'm correct. I know Tina is with us tonight. You're not prepared to speak on it? Oh,
New
Karen?
member, Martina Sykes. Yes, this is appointment of her. Yes.
Go ahead and tell the board what it is.
It's a resolution to approve the member for the HIA board.
It's a new member coming to their board.
Martina is, she has a son now in middle school, originated that was Pioneer. She has come to higher board meetings for several months now, and has shown an interest that she wants. It's taken a while, we sent this like in May, so it's a good way, so she comes to meetings, she
And she has volunteered, if I'm not mistaken, for events outside of just the standard board meetings, which has been huge as well, you know. Right.
And that comes to our board to approve. Why?
Is one member, right.
So there's almost a consortium with the different townships that belong to Haya. So each township has to approve this for that
Yes.
person to become a new member. I just wanted a clarification from not only the public, what? Oh, Tina, they needed you to come to the microphone. I'm sorry.
Okay, can you hear, no, you can hear me now.
Yep.
Okay, so Martina Sykes, my name is Tina Alvarado, 17088 Fish Lake Road. I am not a resident of Holly Township. I'm a resident of Rose Township, but I am the president of Holly Area Youth Assistance. And the name before you, Martina Skikes, is a person who wants to become a board member of HIA. She's been attending board meetings for several months now, as well as volunteering for different events and things that HIA has sponsored. So we're looking forward to having her on the HIA board, and we know that she has a heart for Holly and a heart for kids. So I would encourage you to give approval to Martina Skikes. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions from the board for Tina?
I will make a motion to approve the membership of Martina Sykes to the Holly Area Youth Assistance.
Motion.
Proposed resolution 2024-20.
Motion by trustee Burton. Is there support?
Support.
Support by trustee Ruth. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Motion carries 5-0. We will move on to number 6, the millage rate approval. This is a form called the L4029. It comes from the county. Who wants to take that? Treasurer?
Doesn't matter.
Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a standard form to set our tax rates for the winter, and we'll just be setting them at the 1 mil that we've done forever.
But what does it allow us to do?
1.2229.
I bring that up because I want residents to know that the county says our millage rate could be 1.229, and this board does not, will not be approving the increase. We're going to stay right where we are, where we've been functioning for years. I just think it's important in these times, especially for the public to understand that we're not raising your taxes. In essence, we're keeping them where they are, which is lowering from where they could be. Because you hear so much negative talk, I said, I think we need to take a moment to say, hey, we're not going there, we're staying where we are. So the motion would be to stay with the 1 mil. I'll go ahead and make that and support.
Support?
Trustee Burton. Go ahead and we got a lot of roll calls tonight. Go ahead and give me a roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion carries 5-0. Now, we will move on to number 7 under new business. That's the higher request for temporary space. Trustee Burton?
Yes, thank you. So it was brought up in our meeting on Monday that Haya now needs a space. For those of you who don't know, there's the large toy program, the Jacobson Quinn Toy Project, and they collect toys for children of the area, and then they distribute those toys out. They collect them, sort them, and then distribute them to the children, around Holly. Because this used to take place in the Carl Richter cafeteria, and obviously that building is no longer, they need a space. So I had brought this back to hopefully use a space in the township, potentially the Grange Hall Road property, for them to use between December 2nd and December 15th approximately. Some facts of this is they service roughly 300 kids with 75 families. And then the one thing that I did want to add that makes it a little different, because we've had several different groups coming, you know, for the Grange Hall property. This being an organization that we already give funds to, that we already partner and, you know, quote unquote do business with, I think that adds a different kind of complexity versus those that have came before us in the past. So if, you know, the formalities, if there's an issue with this being done, because it is a nonprofit, I see it as the opportunity to always look at it as an in-kind match of space to that organization to use that from December 2nd through the 15th. And approving that tonight, we would be able to let them know now so they can, you know, rest easy, they have the space. But again, one of the requests was to have, you know, flexible access to that property, because this individual works full-time that kind of oversees that, so, you know, going after kids' events in the evening or stuff like that, so. I just want to, that's a secondary piece of that.
I have a question. Tina, can you come back to the microphone? Pardon?
I was going to say I'd be willing to answer questions. It boils down to this, you know, we just need space. And without space, we can't do our program. And we've been running this Jacobson Quinn Toy Project in Holly since 1983. And it would be a shame that it couldn't be run simply because of space. And it's nothing that requires any copy machines or anything like that. We just need space to bring the toys and gifts, put them into categories so that our elves can come and put these toys together for families, these gifts together for families, and then hand them out. It does take approximately 2 weeks to do that. Collection, sorting, bagging up, and disbursement.
Well, because I was going to ask, December 2nd to 15th, is that enough time? That's only 13 days.
We have some really good worker elves.
Okay.
And our elves would not say that. Our head elf would not say that if it was not doable.
Okay.
But the thing is, too, they would need access, because sometimes they get calls and, you know, can you come to this church and pick up these toys? Can you stop over here at Advanced Chiropractic and pick up toys? So they have to be able to get in, and because
Right.
they don't want to take gifts to their home then bring them back to the place. So.
No, we understand. I just was concerned it sounded like a short period of time, because I know it's quite an operation. Any other questions from the board?
Whereabouts? Do you know the area up there? What area are you talking about? Which area?
No, see, we've never been inside the building.
The front space would be larger than the space they've had before.
The front space, what's the front? Where
Like the office.
The office space.
Okay, is there gonna be any construction going on there?
No,
Okay.
no. And that's more space than they've had, because they've used the library at Carl Richter in the past.
And somebody needs to take responsibility for giving them access and making sure that things are locked up and.
Cleaned up.
And that's why only one
Yeah.
person would have
One
access,
person,
one
right.
person.
Yep.
And I don't know,
But
there's,
somebody here and,
I could work with them.
okay.
I'm on the board, I think, unless you threw me off.
any other questions for me?
Okay, then Chair will entertain a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to allow Haya the use of the Grange Hall facility from the dates of December 2nd to December 15th for the Jacobson Quinn Toy Project, with George being the point of contact for access.
Can we add due to the fact that we are a member?
Due to the
community?
fact that we are a member of the consortium of the Holly Area Youth System.
Thank you.
Is there support?
Support.
Support by Treasurer Ryan. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That brings us down to the last public comment of the evening. Same rules apply as before. It's a 3-minute, once recognized. Anybody for public comment? Wow. Oh, my wife. Snuck in from the other side. By the way, this is the lady that did all of those baked goods that you enjoyed this evening. Yeah, that was the easy, yeah, I'm the one that put together the cheese tray.
Diane Cullis, 601 East Maple Street, Holly, Michigan. I just wanted to thank Karen. I've only lived here for not quite 16 years, but, and I also appreciate all the work you do. And thank you, Ruth.
Okay, well, thank you. Yeah.
My wife often refers to Karen as my other wife.
Work wife.
Well, it's between you and Amy.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Kinnaman.
Richard Kinnaman, 4151 Stonebridge. I am here on behalf of the Holly Area Chamber of Commerce, which is now a division of North Oakland Regional Chambers Association. We have a couple of events coming up in the next couple of weeks. One of them is a Meet the Candidates event that will be on October 2nd. That's a Wednesday evening, 6 o'clock p.m. It begins at the auditorium at Holly High School. I have had several candidates already confirm, everything from local candidates through several county candidates have already said that they will be attending. So I think it will be a good evening, informative evening, as most of our Meet the Candidates events have been. We also have an event coming up. We have partnered in Ortonville, and we are hosting an event over there for information on the wage tip and paid time leave situation, basically, that is developed in Michigan, and what directions the Michigan Chamber is taking on that, as well as some other organizations. We will have Wendy Block, who is one of the key negotiators and workers with the, she works with the state, the Michigan Chamber, and directly lobbying with our legislators, and she will be present to make a presentation. That event is free to chamber members. It is only $5 for a non-member. There will be some light breakfast items served. It's 8 o'clock on the 30th of September. That's a Monday, 8 a.m. At the Brandon Township Library. Please give me a call if you want to be added on the list. This, I think, is a very hot topic for any business, even government entities. If you have one employee of any kind, this affects you. And come and find out how it will affect you and what kind of recommendations we are suggesting that you give your legislators in the state to address that. Then our big event coming up is the Dixie Byway Car Show that will take place on Saturday, October 12th. This is our fifth one in 6 years, and it has grown into a very, very well-attended event, and we'd encourage you to come out and be a part of that. It takes place 10 to 2. If you show up any place along Dixie Highway between 9:30 and 10, you can watch all the cars drive the Dixie from Waypoint Church down by Bordines up to Mount Holly, where the event takes place, and then you can come and see all the vehicles firsthand up close.
And last year, that cruise had 166 cars?
175 of the cruise and 218 of the event, as well as everyone that came and showed up to the event. Food trucks and live music, and it's a very nice day. Pray for good weather. Then I'm going to point out real quick 2 ribbon cuttings that we have coming up that are, one of them is a business that has basically...
You keep getting,
It keeps cutting in and out a little
well, it's
bit.
because it was low and you kept turning your head.
Okay. New business, Willard's Auto Repair. They have taken over the Wilkinson Auto Shop, and their ribbon cutting will be a week from today, Wednesday, the 25th of September at noon. Gametown Meats will be there with their food available from 11 to 2. And then on October 3rd, that's a Thursday, it will be at noon, and that one is for the Veterans Resource Center at their new location, which will be next door to Maruka's Kitchen in that plaza that runs sideways to the road, basically, near the curves. So come out and be a part of things. Candidates are invited to be a part of the Meet the Candidates. Even if you're unopposed, come and at least, say thank you so far to people or something, let them know that you're there. Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? None appearing? I will close the meeting at 8:08.